From a forced storyline to just plain old bad writing, it appears that the latest season of OBX was more or less a disappointment. And here's why the third season didn't quite live up to its expectations. It seems as though they have run out of ideas, because the characters are as lost as the storyline. But that's not even the worst part. Fans didn't seem too excited about the drama series making a comeback, as they feel it has exhausted itself enough. They claim that the plot is no longer entertaining, and it's natural that people aren't very thrilled. You know what I'm talking about, right? All the hype the trailer had, poof, all gone. Anyway, remember the first season? It was good, but at the same time, it had everyone like, huh? But they still managed to make it fun, as the plot was somewhat good.
Orders?
For season 3, it seems like the studio was looking for all the things they could do wrong, and then did it. Feels like the director was on a leave. And no, I know I sound like I'm hating on it. I'm not. I liked it, just not as much as I thought I would. But come on, what's going on? At first it feels like the second season of The Wild, which was a disaster by the way, but somehow it gets worse. I'm talking about the awkward fight on the plane. After the explosive end of last season, the group of scrappy young people has made a simple life for themselves on an island, Hoaglandia, if you may. Things aren't too bad because they can sit back and relax while living on the fish they catch.
I like the Mad Dog part.
Just put that back. Put it back. Be cool.
Where's that silver?
What was that?
But why would they do that? I'm pretty sure the showrunners said everyone's fired if this season makes sense. Anyway, immediately after saying they want to live on the island forever, they see a seaplane and act like they have been saved. They weren't. A cartoonish fight breaks out on the plane before it crashes, but everyone's somehow unscratched. If this was supposed to be the thing that was meant to get the audience hooked, boy did you guys fail. Talking about fails, take the problematic resurrection of Big John as an example. We find out that he wasn't really dead at the end of season 2, which was one of the worst things about this season. The first time John B and Big John see each other again, I admit it's nice, but Big John's a sus person. He goes against the vibe of the show in every way, even leading John B in the wrong direction every second he's on screen, especially since he ends up separating John B from his friends for half the season. That's not the only thing that people didn't like about the show though. How are there no winners after 2 darn seasons? To be honest, it's getting a little old. And you won't believe it, but the Camerons have stopped the treasure hunters again. I'm not sure if you have played it, but the third season is like the Uncharted game from eBay. Don't get me wrong, it was mostly a fun ride, but it's not working as well as it used to. And since season 4's on the way, the show really needs a change. That doesn't mean I want any of the Pogues to get hurt.
You don't have to say it like that.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what we're gonna do.
It sounds so barbaric.
Amazing. A text from our friend Jimmy Portis.
But if the show insists on giving shootouts and explosions instead of character development, the stakes must be high enough to keep things interesting. The best thing about the show is the Pogues and how well the actors who play them get along. So I hope that the writers of season 4 will keep this in mind and give up at least some of the action for the Pogue drama that made me love the show in the first place. It's also time to change the formula and stop using the same ideas over and over again. No more kidnappings, pointless car chases, almost getting the gold, or dead dads who aren't really dead. Talking about dead dads, the show needs to fix its death problem. In the season 3 finale, Ward may have finally met his end, but only after escaping death not once, not twice, but 3 times. You also met John B's not dead dad this season, because it turns out that both his and Sarah's dads could have faked their own deaths. If season 4 tries to do this with JJ's dad, who hasn't been in any of the most recent episodes, I worry that the show will be over for good. But no, why would you bring up El Dorado? You could have found the treasure. Again, it's like they played all the Uncharted video games together and mixed everything up. The Lost Ship, and then boom, you find El Dorado. All in all, it's just not working out. Fans also disapproved of the dramatic business. The show is just drama for drama's sake. The old villain, Ward Cameron's been taken out of the game and replaced by Carlos Singh and his huge group of mercenaries who aren't as interesting if I'm being honest. There are some particularly hard to believe moments in the show, like they go through this crazy and admittedly exciting train heist where the teens ride the rails and pull out crates that might have priceless relics on them and throw them in the back of trucks while the police chase them at high speeds. As if that wasn't unbelievable enough, JJ almost dies when he and his motorbike crash through the cement wall of an overpass, only to find out that the crate's full of junk, which makes the fans think that some characters are shielded because of a plot armor, no matter what type of terrible things occur, as it appears that they feel that the loss of any major characters will cause the program to decline, so they will likely continue to play it cautiously. Plus, another thing that I almost forgot, evidently the flashbacks didn't seem right. Outer Banks has a habit of recapping the events of prior seasons for its audience. However, some viewers felt that Season 3's narrative, which was essentially pushed onto the audience, wasn't quite appropriate.
I've almost got the new papers ready, you know? Passports, bank accounts. I got this.
Because of it, okay? So don't get that look when I say I'm a victim, all right? I am.
The series kept repeating some of the smallest things that quite frankly weren't something we asked for, with John B. discovering some ties to his family and the action dispersed throughout. The new season barely ventured into the darker realm. Instead, it mainly focused on the same old components that briefly startled the audience before returning to the same tone. The shootout on the sea wasn't particularly enjoyable either. Even other admirers claimed that it appeared to be more of a joke than real action. Oh, talking about jokes, some fans feel that some characters need motivation. Look at Sarah, Pope, Kiara, and JJ. You'll understand what it means to be clueless. The folks that are primarily in the background don't really have a clear goal or assignment to accomplish, and many admirers have taken notice of that. One is crying about leaving John B. or Kai behind, and Sarah is just crying for no reason. And yes, there have been developments, but not to the extent that they appear to be crucial to the storyline.
He's ready.
Overall, viewers believe that the series is extending the treasure hunt premise to make it work for a bit longer, but there might just be a way to fix things. The characters will have to take a fresh approach to the treasure hunt, even though the Pogues find El Dorado and start living like kooks. At the end of Season 3, an older man comes up to them and gives them yet another mission. The mission is to find the lost treasure of the notorious pirate Blackbeard. With the Pogues' newfound wealth and resources, the search for Blackbeard's treasure could be a whole new ballgame. But only if this 3-season-old formula has turned on its head and the pointless, drawn-out plots are thrown out. That's all for why Outer Banks Season 3 didn't live up to its hype.